So we're here in Las Vegas at one of our newest luxury house flips on the golf course. I'm gonna show you around the house. We're gonna talk numbers. And on top of that, I'm gonna be giving away a free ticket to my mastermind right here in Las Vegas. So let's go check it out. All right, so I'm loving how this house turned out. It's about to hit the market. You can see it's already staged. And we just got some touch-up things to do, as evidenced by all of these little blue tapes that you see right here. And I wanna call out some of these blue tapes as we walk through, because I think it's super important for some of you who are flipping houses to know what little things you need to fix, because they can make the difference on whether your house sells or not, how they perceive the quality of work. And these are things that are gonna happen no matter how good your contractors are. They always miss some of these little things. So I'll be calling some of those out. But you know, as far as everything goes, to give you some context of this home, it is a little over 3,000 square feet in Summerlin, Las Vegas, which is a very prime community on the west side. And it's right here on the golf course called TPC Las Vegas, which is, you know, a very nice golf course as evidenced by TPC. So I think that it should sell pretty quickly because there are very few renovated homes over here. Now, we've had this house for about 9 months, and the renovation took a little longer than we wanted, mainly because we bought a bunch of luxury flips all at once. I think we bought around 10 of them in the span of 2 to 3 months. And luxury flipping wasn't something that we've done over the years. In fact, my bread and butter has always been entry-level homes. I always like to just turn and burn them. Same exact scheme in every single home. Let me go buy 10 of these a month and then just do the exact same thing on all of them. And that served us really well, but I've realized as this market has gone crazy that luxury was the one that has gone absolutely bonkers. And since buying all those homes, we've already sold some for some insane profits where we've made far more than we thought, mainly because the market keeps appreciating. But even in the luxury market, now that we've kind of gotten our feet wet and we've done it on quite a few homes, we're now starting to streamline the process of luxury flipping. As you can see here, this fireplace looks very similar to the fireplace that we recently showed on one of my other luxury flips that we're listing at 1.8 million. It's done in a little bit different way, but the tile looks very similar because we know it looks good. You know, on top of that, the flooring is pretty similar, and you know, I think it's something that these luxury buyers are looking for. This tile also kind of reminds me of the tile in my own house that we have on my fireplace, which I did probably 3.5 years ago. So it's kind of interesting to see. But along with that, let's talk about these blue tapes that we've got here. So right now it says dirty tile, which, you know, you would think they would clean it, but it's things like this that you have to call out, because if we don't call it out right here, then it doesn't get cleaned. Somebody has got to know that, yeah, we don't like how that tile looks right now. And pretty much all these other tapes are just showing that we need to clean this thing, man. So understand that. Right here, he has dirty grout. So we need to clean the grout up. You know, the fireplace looks great, but little touches like that, just getting it more clean, are things that in luxury anyway, you definitely need to fix, because the last thing you want a really high-end buyer to be worried about is the quality of construction, right? They may not care about it as much on an entry-level home, but they're definitely looking about it when they're spending millions of dollars. So going into the kitchen, I really love how this kitchen turned out. You can see that we did a two-tone design. We got the white shakers, we've got the espresso at the bottom. We do different things on luxury, like this waterfall right here on the island. You know, it costs a good bit more to do that, but when you're doing luxury, it's something that buyers expect. So, you know, I'm just looking at this right now. Screw holes under the cabinets. So you can see that they've got these different holes that, you know, it looks like they may have just messed up and they're just sitting there. So they're gonna have to fill those holes in and make it flush so that, you know, you can't see it. Now granted, I personally would have never even noticed those holes were there. I can't see it just looking at the cabinets, but if I look lower, yeah, I can see it. And it wouldn't bother me as a buyer, but for some others, it will bother them. And in inspection reports, it might be something they call out. So I like that we're calling those things out. You know, over here, you can see dirty fridge inside. One of the things right now too in luxury, especially with these built-in fridges, is it's so hard to get these fridges in stock, especially one that fits perfectly to what you want. So my guess is this fridge might be refurbished. That sure is what it seems like. And it's not that we want to put a refurbished fridge in here, it's just literally we don't have a choice. Like there's no supply of certain appliances. So that's interesting. Dirty hood insert, so we gotta fix that. The grout, we gotta silicone these wet areas. So a lot of times, you know, they do these countertops and they always silicone it to kind of like seal it off so that water doesn't go in the cracks. Well, you know, noticing when things aren't done that way is something you've got to do. And so I'm actually really happy to see my project manager doing these types of things because they do make a big difference. Now, let's talk about the backyard. I've done a previous YouTube video at this house when it was in mid-construction. That was probably about a month and a half ago. And I talked about how on these golf course lots, you know, most of them are very small lots. And one of my biggest pet peeves when you have a small lot like this in a luxury house is like when the whole lot is all pool. I think the pools are poorly designed when they do it that way. So I was really happy to see how they designed this pool because it looks so much better just being all over here. You know, you've got this square pool. It's actually a pretty good size. I like the sun deck being right here. And then I think the jacuzzi is in a perfect place where, you know, if it's the winter, something like that, it's immediately right here with the slider. So you can just go jump in the jacuzzi, not worry about the pool. I just think the way they did it was great. But the bigger reason is they were still able to maintain this space over here. So we added this turf, made it look really nice. And now you don't feel like your whole backyard is just a pool. You can go put some chairs on this. You can do whatever you want. I think the way they set this up was really smart, and I'm really happy that you know, it turned out the way it did because I like it. And you know, you can just see the beautiful golf course right here. In fact, they're shutting down the course for like 3 months for the first time ever at TPC Las Vegas to renovate it and, you know, do a whole bunch of changes. So you can already see they've already taken out, that used to be a green right there with the flag and everything else. So it's cool to see that they're gonna be doing all new stuff. Now, another thing we've been doing on these luxury flips is we pretty much stage all of them. I think staging definitely helps. It's not something we do on our normal flips. In fact, I've never been a fan of staging. You know, in today's market, you don't need to do a whole ton to go sell a house. There's just nothing available. So on the entry-level homes, we definitely don't stage. And people have always asked me that over the years. They're like, Ryan, what do you think about staging? They do it on all the TV shows. And I'm like, dude, you're literally wasting your money, especially on those entry-level homes. But on a luxury house like this one, where we're gonna try and sell this for $1.5 million, it definitely makes sense to stage it, because if this helps me sell it a month or 2 months quicker because it's staged, or it helps me get a higher price because people can envision what this will become, it far outweighs what it costs me to stage this home. And just so you know, the way staging works is that it costs you a high upfront fee for month 1 because they got to do all this work to get the furniture in. And then every month thereafter is cheaper because the hard work's already done with putting it in. So I don't have the exact bill on this, but I would guess this house cost us around $3,000 in month 1 to stage. And then it's probably around like $1,500 to $1,800 every month thereafter. So quick tip for you guys on how staging works and, you know, whether or not you should stage a flip, you know, depending on where you're at. Give you another example of staging since we're here. You know, obviously we did not stage this room. There's not really a point to stage guest bedrooms. People understand like a guest bed goes here. We could spend the money to do it, but it's just not really gonna give us a return, so we don't. We just keep it the way it is and it's all good. Now, another thing to look at, you know, speaking of blue tape, is you can see there's overspray right here. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I can feel the roughness and everything else. So they need to definitely redo that because that's not the quality we want, especially in a luxury flip. But anyways, you can see we've got another guest bedroom in here. Pretty simple, nothing crazy going on. You've got the laundry room over there, and then you've got this Jack and Jill bathroom that both bedrooms get to share. Here's another money-saving tip. That like, this isn't tile that we picked. We kept this tile, we just refinished it and reglazed it, and it looks really good. You know, kind of the same concept of staging where you don't want to spend all this money in the guest bedrooms if you have a budget. The guest bathrooms are the same. Like if you've got a nice basic guest bathroom like this, it's fine. Like you don't need to go super crazy unless you're selling like, you know, multi-million dollar, $3-4 million homes. Like for $1.5 million home, at least here in Vegas, that's totally fine. All right, now before we go check out the master, I said I was gonna be giving a free ticket to my upcoming mastermind. For those of you who don't know, I hold masterminds here in Vegas every single quarter. This one happens to be on June 29th to July 1st. It's gonna be a lot of fun. 250 real estate investors from all over the country, many of which are doing 7 figures. They're doing Airbnbs, they're getting a lot of rentals. We got a ton of great guest speakers, as well as myself. So I would love to meet you at that mastermind and shake your hand. Now, in order to get a free ticket there, I'm gonna ask one trivia question that if you've been following me for a long time, you probably have seen this video and you can answer it. And whoever answers it first in the comments is going to get the free ticket valued at $3,000. So here is the question. In my very first house flip, I was having some problems with kids at the house. Comment below what the kids were doing and how I solved the problem. So whoever is first to answer that question is gonna get the free ticket. So comment below right now and I'm gonna pin your comment if you win. Now we're going into the master bedroom. And I really like the master in here because, you know, not only does it have a bigger room, but we've got this really nice fireplace we've put in. You've got the shiplap, the electric fireplace. You also get this view out into the golf course, which is really nice. There's a ton of light and you know, it looks really good. And as we talked about with staging, we may not stage the guest bedrooms, but we definitely stage the master because it's very important. And I think probably my favorite part of this house is this bathroom that we created for the master. I really like the color scheme they did. It all ties in together really well. You can see we've got the black cabinets, the gold accents. They kind of match the black and gold up here with these lights. And I like this tile all on the back wall, just kind of going all the way across into the shower. And then having a different tile on this side to kind of break it up. I think it just gives it this really cool feel where, you know, the shower feels all light and bright, and then you've got this to contrast it. And along with that, you know, you've got this tub that's freestanding. It just looks really good overall. Love this bathroom. So let's talk about the numbers on this home. I purchased this house for $985,000 about 9 months ago. It was actually from another house flipper who had just flipped a house not too far across the street. He had been following me on social media and said, Ryan, I saw you're flipping luxury. Do you want to buy this one? And that's actually one of the biggest ways I've gotten a ton of these luxury deals is by making videos just like this. In fact, the house I bought that I'm gonna live in that I've done YouTube videos on was done that same way. He saw one of my YouTubes and he sent me that house as a deal. This guy saw one of my YouTubes and sent me this house as a deal. So let that be a reminder for anybody who's in real estate investing is to constantly tell people you are buying deals and what you're buying, because it's gonna lead to more deals for you. So start talking about it. Don't be secretive. There's nothing noble in being secret about what you're doing. Like, let the world know because it's gonna help you get more business. Now, he sent me this. I bought it for $985. He made quite a bit of money on it. I think he bought it for like $700,000 or something. So he didn't really need to fix it up. He was gonna make his big money just by flipping it to me directly, which was fine. Now after buying it, we ended up putting about $180,000 into this home. I would say 70,000 of it was spent building that pool and the backyard and all that stuff. And then the other 110,000 was on all of the renovations you see here, which means we spent about $35 to $40 a square foot on this renovation, which is pretty standard for what we're trying to achieve with our luxury flips. Our entry-level flips, we try to stay around $25 to $30 a square foot. So between purchase price and renovation, we're into this house at $1,165,000. Now our holding costs in this house are about $12,000 a month. If you want to use easy numbers, it's been about $100,000 worth of expenses. We're also gonna pay around $50,000 in realtor fees, and we'll have about $25,000 in closing costs. So when you add all of those things up, we're all into this house for about $1.34 million. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this flip. As I said before, I would love to see you at the upcoming Future Flipper Mastermind. It's gonna be epic, and we're gonna teach you everything I know about flipping houses and how you could find deals just like this one. And you know, if you wanna learn more about that, go to futureflipper.com. You can get a free consultation with my team. You'll see if the Mastermind's a good fit or if one of our coaching programs are a good fit for you. And I would love to see you there. So thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.